Hello and welcome to Hyperdog Digital. This is Scott. Today we're going to take a look at another one of these fitness watches or fitness bracelets off of Amazon.com. This is not a name brand item. It's not a Fitbit or Garmin or anything like that. It's just one of those ones that you'll find that really doesn't seem to have any kind of a name at all. And I'm looking at the screen for it right now, and it doesn't give you any name at all for it. Even going through the documentation, there's nothing that says this is made by such and such company. The only thing that'll tell you is that the name of the app is DaFit, D-A space fit. So that's really about all that it gives you as far as what the type or the brand of the fitness watch is. And since I got this here, I'll go ahead and run through a little bit of just what the specs are that it gives you. It's got a 1.3 inch screen. It's non-touch screen. It's 170 milliamp battery. It says it gives you about 6 to 8 days battery life. IP67 protection there for water and dust. And you can use it with Android or iOS. So that's really about it. And the instruction booklet is not too bad. It's better than some of the ones that I usually get with these kind of devices. So it's actually pleasantly surprising the amount of information that is in here. There's not a lot, certainly, but like I said, there is more than what you normally get. This is the box that it comes in. Nothing too spectacular. It kind of gives you some of the same information here on the back, but that's it really. So this is the device right here, and also this is the charger for it. So on the bottom you can see you got your heart rate monitor there, and a charger. It is magnetic, snaps right on there, and when it does charge, you can see you get the little battery charging icon, and you do have a little LED here on the side that tells you that it is charging. That's a nice little feature there, considering that nowhere in the device itself, on the screen or information anywhere that I've been able to find, does it actually tell you what the battery level is. So you really have no idea how much battery life you have left on this thing until it starts telling you your battery is low. It doesn't really bother me that much. The battery does, I've never got to a point to where it really died on me, so it does seem to last several days, but might be good to know if you're getting close to that and you can put on the charger. But it's one thing to keep in mind on there I thought was a little bit weird. Now if you can see here a little bit, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it on camera or not, there's a little circle down here. This is actually where the touch happens that takes you through the different screens. There's also a button here on this side that will allow you to get back to the main screen with whatever you're on there. Okay, so as I said, there's just this, the screen itself is not a touch screen, so you have to use this button down here. I'll try and put this up here a little better for you. So you can, obviously this is the main screen, and there are 3 different screens you can choose from. You have to do it through the app, unfortunately, but really none of them are as good as this one. One of them has some kind of weird artsy swirl and just the time on it. The other one is an analog screen, but it doesn't really give you any other information. So this one really is probably the best one you got. It's got your data, it's got your time, it's got your steps and your calories. So that's about the only information you can get on there. You can't change it from anything else. Going through the rest of the screens, you have your steps, you have your distance, you have your calories burned, you have your heart rate, you have your blood pressure, you have your blood oxygen level, and then you have training, and then messages. So if you get any SMS messages or anything like that, you can go in here. I'm not sure if any of these show up for me. Yeah, okay, so there's a couple in here, but nothing too exciting. And then there's your settings here that you can go into as well, and or just other items. This allows you to obviously use the camera button. You can have a little bit of media play on there. There's a stopwatch, change the brightness, or you can reset it. To actually get back to home, you can just press this button on the side, and if you hold the button down, it'll bring up the power down, so you can power it off if you hit this button here, or you can cancel it here. We're going to cancel it for right now. Now if you go through each of these, like let's go to the heart rate, and you hold down on it, it'll bring up some statistics here for you. And it won't do this on all the items, but it will do it on a few of them for you. Some pretty neat information to see there. And then if you go into training, it gives you different items like walking, running, cycling, skipping, badminton, basketball, and soccer. I know that says football, but I'm in America, so this is soccer. And then if you hold down on one of these, it will give you this screen here, which will give you your active heart rate, your calories, your distance, and your steps. And then of course, to get out of all of this, you back up. I actually have been rather well impressed with this device. I usually don't have a lot of faith in these things that I get off of Amazon that are just the non-name brand kind of deals, but this one has been really good. Of course, it's got the IP67 waterproofing and dust protection, so that's pretty good as well. But it's got a nice big screen. It's colorful. It's responsive. It lets you do a lot of different things in the screen that you don't normally get with these kind of off-brand things. It seems to be well built. It's pretty solid. The strap on it is, nothing special, but it works very well, and it's big enough for my wrist, which is a problem that I've had with a lot of these, is that they're just not big enough. And it is the kind of straps that you can easily pop off, so you can put another different strap on here if you like. The one thing I didn't like about these is, and I seem to get these a lot with these cheapo guys, is this bracket here is pretty sharp, and that it just feels like it cuts into me a little bit. This one wasn't too bad, but I just can't wear them real tight when it's got that bracket on there. So definitely, if this is something I was going to wear constantly, I would get a different bracket, or certainly some different straps. The software is actually not bad either. It's got all English settings in it, so there's not any Japanese or Chinese text in it to confuse you or not know what some of the settings are. It lets you change it to the different settings for temperature and for weight and so on and so forth. So we'll take a look at that here in just a minute. But really, I was pretty impressed with the watch as itself. It works really good. It looks pretty good. It's not huge. The readings are fairly accurate. I think the blood pressure one was the only one that I thought was pretty far off, depending on what you were doing. Again, I don't wear these things very tight, and I know that makes a big difference to get a decent reading. So that's part my problem. The only other issue I had really with it was that at one point or another it lost all of my statistics. So when we do go through the software, we're going to see there's not a lot of history. I don't know what happened. It only happened to me once in the week and a half here that I've been using it. So I don't know if it's just a glitch on the phone, the software, or the watch, but other than that, it seemed to work out pretty good. So let's go ahead and take a look at the software, and then we'll give our conclusion, and hopefully that'll be good for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the software. And the software again is called DAFIT, D-A-F-I-T. And when you're running it, it does show up right up here in the drop down. So you can, it's kind of neat. It gives you some information, gives you some steps, gives you what your current goal is. But you can click on that. Of course, you can click on the icon and get to it that way as well. And you can see the main dashboard has some well laid out pertinent information. Gives you your steps, your sleep, which mine doesn't really show up right now. Your full-time heart rate, which is basically it takes your heart rate throughout the day. Your regular heart rate, which is just when you decide to push the button on the watch, or when you do it through the software to get your heart rate at that point in time. Your blood pressure, your blood oxygen, and if you were doing any running, it would give you your distance there as well. Now, if you click on one of these, like let's click on the full-time heart rate, it'll bring up another screen here for you, which will give you a little bit more information. Click out of that, and let's go to, let's say, blood pressure. So here it comes up with your blood pressure as well, and it gives you a little bit more information. You also have a button here that you can use where you can measure, so it'll actually connect to the watch and measure it right there while you click that button. You can end it, which we're going to do here. Now, the blood pressure was the only one that I thought was fairly wide off. Most of these that were in here that are like 79/162, 79/163, those are very uncommon. It's definitely not in the range that I usually get for my blood pressure. It's closer back down here to these 74/121, those kind of guys there. So I'm not sure what the issue was, but it was just for a period of time, and then whatever reason, maybe I readjusted the watch and tightened it a little bit, or had it a little bit better spot on my wrist. But for whatever reason, that one was a little off. Let's go on to the next screen that you have here, which is basically the watch itself, and it gives you the Y7. I don't know if that's really what the model is for this, but that's the only model I've ever seen listed for this thing. I didn't even see anything on Amazon for it. And it actually gives you your battery meter, which is good, because that's the only place that it shows that. You don't get that on the watch itself. You can go in here to watch faces, and you can change it to one of these other two watch faces. I don't really like either one of those because they don't really give you very much information. They just give you the time, maybe the date. But the one in the middle obviously gives you your steps and your calories as well, which I think is just an all-around good bit of information to have there. So that's just, there's not a whole lot, but what you got is pretty useful there. Notifications, of course, so you can set it so that it can give you notifications for different programs that you have there. Alarms, pretty self-explanatory. Shutter, self-explanatory. Others, this is where you set basically the settings for the device. So if you want to change the time format, if you want to add or remove a device, change the units from metric or British. If you want to set up your reminder to move, your all-day heart rate, this is where all that stuff is done. Now there's also a section here for weather, but I did not see anything in the smartwatch at all, or in the bracelet at all, that listed anything about weather. I don't know, maybe it's something that's going to come later that they're going to add in, but I'm not even sure why that's in there. So moving on, of course, you can do an upgrade, and when I did install the software, it immediately did an upgrade, so that was good to know. And the last part is going to be just about you, where you can set your goals, how many steps you want to hit, and then what's your height, your weight, your year, your birth weight, or I'm sorry, your birth year, and all that kind of stuff. And that's basically it. So it's not, a huge, it's not terribly complicated, which I think is good. It's very simple, especially this main screen. It gives you all the information you need. You can click on each one of these and get some different information. Again, I might have mentioned that for whatever reason, there was a glitch in the software or the watch, or I don't know, maybe it was my phone, but I had a bunch more historical data for about a week and a half that all got wiped just this morning. I don't know if it was a problem with the software. I don't know if it was a problem with the watch or with my phone or what, but whatever reason, that's obviously an issue. I don't know if it was just a one-time thing or what, but it's certainly something to look out for. But other than that, I mean, up until that point, the software has been working great. I haven't had any problems with it. So that's I'm going to chalk it up to a glitch at this point, unless it happens again. But as I was saying, it displays all the information very well. It gives you, you can actually start your running here if you want to as well. I didn't even know that. But that's what we got listed here, and I think it's pretty good software for one of these off-brand kind of smart bracelets or fitness bracelets. Most of them don't have a lot of English in it. Some of it's badly translated. So to see something like this that is very easy to read, it's all provided to you in the correct way, in the correct language, and everything seems to function well. So that's actually pretty rare as far as I'm concerned with some of these. So the watch looks really great. The software, good as well. Okay, so there we go. That's it. That is the fitness smartwatch here that I got off of Amazon. Again, it doesn't have a name. I got it for $31.99 on Amazon. The description for it is fitness tracker, activity tracker, fitness watch with heart rate monitor, color screen, waterproof smart bracelet with step counter, calorie counter, pedometer for kids, women, men, Android, iOS. So that's a big mouthful. It's sold by Feifuns, Feifuns, and basically it's just got a picture of this guy on the front. It's pretty easy to see it, and then it'll have, let's see here, let's get back to the front. It'll have this screen and kind of at an angle, and then it'll have the other screens down here on the bottom. So it's pretty easy to tell which one it is. I really liked it. It's a really good alternative to the higher priced Fitbits, Garmin's, and Samsungs and whatever that you're looking at. It worked really well. The software works really well. It gives you some good statistical information. It's easy to read. You can get some of that statistical information on the watch itself, which is very rare for some of these kind of watches. So definitely, if you're looking for something but you don't want to spend a lot of money, this is definitely one I would check out. If I already didn't have one that I was wearing that's built into my smartwatch, I would definitely be using this guy, and it's probably one that I'm gonna hand off to somebody in my family, which I don't generally do with these because I just don't like them. They're usually not very good. This one is pretty good. I was very impressed with it, and like I said, it's definitely one you should check out if you're looking for one. So hopefully this was useful to you, and if it was, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Hyperdog Digital. Hey, this is Scott for Hyperdog Digital. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more videos and reviews, be sure to check us out at hyperdogdigital.com. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you know when we put up new content. If there's something you'd like us to review, or you have a product you want to send us for a review, feel free to send us an email at reviews@hyperdogdigital.com. We're also looking for sponsors right now, so if you are interested in being a sponsor for our channel, contact us at sponsor@hyperdogdigital.com. All of our social media links and emails are in the description. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you next time.